Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Simply English Pod. I'm Linda.
Hey there, English learners. I'm Mark, and I'm genuinely excited about today's episode. We're talking about something super relatable, your daily routine. It's something we all talk about, but let's be honest. It's easy to run out of words or sound repetitive in English.
Oh, absolutely, Mark. I mean, how many times have you heard someone say, I wake up, I brush my teeth, I go to work? Right? It's like, come on, there's got to be more to your life than that.
Exactly. And that's the thing. We all have these little quirks and habits that make our routines unique, but we just don't know how to express them naturally in English.
Right. But don't worry. By the end of this episode, you'll be able to describe your day in clear, fluent, and natural English, just like native speakers. No more robotic phrases.
Yeah, and what makes this episode really special is how we teach. At Simply English Pod, we don't just give you words to memorize. We use a comprehensive learning method. That means you'll practice listening, speaking, reading, and even a little writing, all in one short lesson.
That's right. And to make it even easier, we've created a free downloadable PDF worksheet for this episode. It includes key phrases, real-life examples, fun exercises, and a challenge to help you practice on your own.
Oh, and here's the best part. You can literally learn anywhere, whether you're on your commute, doing dishes, walking your dog, or just relaxing with your earbuds in. This episode works for you.
Exactly. You don't have to write anything down right now. Just listen, repeat, and speak along with us. We'll be your English workout buddies today.
I love that analogy. And if you're new here, welcome. This is Simply English Pod, where we teach real practical English that helps you speak naturally in everyday life.
Yeah. No boring textbook stuff here. No outdated phrases that make you sound awkward or stiff.
Just modern English you'll actually use. So grab your coffee, plug in your headphones, and let's get started on mastering your daily routine in English. The Simply English way.
All right. Welcome to part 1. We're starting with a quick vocabulary warm-up. Our vocabulary guessing game. I'll describe daily activities using natural, descriptive language that native speakers use. Mark will try to guess, and you can play along with us too. Ready, Mark?
Oh, I love this approach. It's so much better than just memorizing word lists. Bring on the first one.
Okay, here we go. Your alarm blares at you, but instead of jumping out of bed immediately, you reach over and press a button to steal just 5 more precious minutes of sleep. What's your guess?
That's definitely hitting the snooze button. But I love how you described it. Steal 5 more precious minutes. That's exactly how it feels. Like you're getting away with something, right?
Yes, exactly. Native speakers don't just say, I press snooze. They add emotion and detail. Okay, here's another one. You're running behind schedule, so you hastily grab something quick and portable. Maybe a piece of toast or a granola bar to munch on during your commute.
That's grabbing breakfast on the go. And notice how much more vivid that description is compared to just saying, I eat breakfast quickly.
Right, you can actually picture the scene. Now, here's a trickier one. You settle into your workspace, fire up your computer, scan through messages that arrived overnight, and connect with colleagues through your screen. What's your guess for this one?
That sounds like starting your workday and attending virtual meetings. I really like the phrase, fire up your computer. That's so much more natural than turn on my computer.
Brilliant. Fire up has that energy to it, doesn't it? Now, Mark, create one for our listeners.
Oh, okay, let me think. All right, everyone, here's yours. The workday is finally over, and you transition from work mode to relaxation mode. You might light a scented candle, put on soft music, or simply take 3 deep breaths to signal that it's time to unwind. What's the guess?
Ooh, you're describing how you wind down after work. I love that you included the psychological aspect. Transition from work mode to relaxation mode. That's so true. It's like flipping a switch in your brain, right?
Exactly. Yeah, here's one more. You're feeling restless after sitting all day, so you step outside, breathe in fresh air, and move your body. Maybe a brisk walk around the block or light stretching. What's your guess on this one?
That's taking a break to get some fresh air and movement. See how much more engaging these descriptions are? They paint a picture and include the emotions behind our actions.
That's right. It's like you're telling a story, not just listing facts.
Now, welcome to part 2, speaking practice. Let's work on pronunciation and natural rhythm. Many English learners use correct grammar but sound robotic because they're missing the natural flow.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's not just about the words you choose, it's about how you say them. The rhythm, the stress patterns, even the little pauses make a huge difference.
Right. Before we continue, for each key phrase or sentence we demonstrate, we'll repeat it twice. Listen to the first repetition, then shadow along with us on the second repetition. This will help you practice the natural rhythm and stress patterns we're teaching.
That's right. Don't worry about being perfect. Just follow along and focus on mimicking the rhythm and stress. Think of it like learning a song. You've got to feel the beat. Ready? Let's start.
Okay, let's practice some transformations. Instead of saying, I wake up, we can say, I usually wake up around 7. So, Mark, demonstrate the stress pattern for us, please.
Sure. I usually wake up around 7. Now shadow with me. I usually wake up around 7. See how the stress falls on usually, wake, and 7? It creates a natural rhythm.
Perfect. That has a nice flow to it, doesn't it? Instead of I eat breakfast, we can say, I grab a quick bite before heading out. Show the stress pattern, Mark.
Right. I grab a quick bite before heading out. Now shadow with me. I grab a quick bite before heading out. The stressed words create a musical pattern that makes English sound natural and fluent.
Excellent. It's like English has its own music. Now, let's practice complete sentences. Everyone, say these out loud after us.
I typically hit the snooze button at least twice before actually getting up. I typically hit the snooze button at least twice before actually getting up.
After my morning shower, I quickly scroll through my phone to check for urgent messages. After my morning shower, I quickly scroll through my phone to check for urgent messages.
I brew myself a strong cup of coffee and skim through the headlines while it's hot. I brew myself a strong cup of coffee and skim through the headlines while it's hot.
Most evenings, I prefer to unwind with a good book rather than staring at screens. Most evenings, I prefer to unwind with a good book rather than staring at screens.
Good job! Now let's focus on time expressions that make your English flow naturally. Instead of just stating times like at 7 a.m., native speakers use phrases like first thing in the morning, right after lunch, later in the evening, and just before bed.
Oh yeah, those sound so much more natural. You can also use bright and early, in the middle of the day, as soon as I get home, and last thing at night.
Exactly. So let's practice these in context. First thing in the morning, I like to do light stretching. Right after lunch, I usually take a short walk. Later in the evening, I wind down by listening to music.
Perfect. Notice how that flows better than saying, at 7 a.m., I stretch. At 1 p.m., I walk. At 8 p.m., I listen to music. Natural expressions create a story rather than a schedule.
You're right. It's the difference between a robot and a real person talking.
Now let's move on to part 3, our reading challenge. I'm going to read you a story about Emma's daily routine. Listen carefully because Mark will ask comprehension questions afterward.
All right. Listeners, pay attention to the natural expressions we've practiced and how Emma describes her day with personality and detail.
Yeah, and notice how she doesn't just say, I do this, then I do that. She tells us why she does things and how they make her feel. Here's Emma's story. My morning routine has become sacred to me over the years. I wake up at 6:30 a.m. without an alarm. My body clock is surprisingly reliable. The first thing I do is open my bedroom curtains and take 3 deep breaths while looking at my small garden. After making my bed, I head straight to the kitchen to brew a strong cup of coffee. While it's brewing, I do gentle stretches by the window. I've learned that starting slowly helps me feel more centered throughout the day. Breakfast is usually simple but nourishing, either overnight oats with berries or scrambled eggs with spinach. I eat while reading a few pages from whatever book I'm currently enjoying, avoiding news or social media until later. My workday begins at 9 a.m. sharp. As a freelance writer, I tackle my most challenging projects first thing when my mind is fresh. Around noon, I force myself to step away from the computer and prepare a proper lunch. Afternoons are for lighter tasks, emails, and client calls. After work, I unwind by cooking dinner while listening to podcasts. SimplyEnglishPod is a good one. This ritual helps me transition from work mode to relaxation mode, and I genuinely look forward to it every single day.
Ah, thanks for the shout out, Emma. Great story. Now let's test your listening comprehension. I'll ask questions and Linda will provide the answers.
So, listeners, now is your turn. Try to answer these before you hear my responses. Ready?
First question. What time does Emma wake up and does she use an alarm?
She wakes up at 6:30 a.m. without an alarm. Her body clock is reliable. Pretty impressive, right?
Yeah, I'm jealous. Second, what does Emma do first when she wakes up?
She opens her bedroom curtains and takes 3 deep breaths while looking at her garden. I love that mindful moment she gives herself.
Right, it's like she's setting the tone for her whole day. Third, what does Emma eat for breakfast and what does she avoid?
She eats overnight oats with berries or scrambled eggs with spinach, and she avoids news or social media until later. Smart move. Who needs that stress first thing in the morning?
Exactly. Fourth, when does Emma tackle her most challenging work?
She tackles challenging projects first thing at 9 a.m. when her mind is fresh.
Right, finally. How does Emma transition from work mode to relaxation mode?
She unwinds by cooking dinner while listening to podcasts. It's a ritual she genuinely looks forward to. And hey, maybe she's listening to us right now.
Oh, I hope so. See how Emma doesn't just list activities? She explains her reasoning and shares her feelings about them.
Now for the exciting part, part 4. It's time to build your own routine story. We're going to guide you through creating a natural, flowing description of your daily routine.
Yeah, this isn't about making a boring list of activities. We want you to craft a story that sounds authentic and conversational. Think of it as painting a picture of your day with words.
Exactly. We'll give you sentence starters and examples for each part of your day. Ready? Let's start from the beginning.
Right. First, your morning wake up. I typically wake up around.
Here are some natural ways to complete this. I typically wake up around 7, though weekends are a completely different story. Or try, I typically wake up around 6:30 and immediately reach for my phone. I know it's a terrible habit, but here we are.
Oh, I love that honesty. That's what makes it sound real. Next, the very first thing I do is.
You might say, the very first thing I do is open my curtains to let that natural light flood in. Or perhaps, the very first thing I do is take 3 deep breaths to center myself for the day ahead.
Nice. For your morning fuel, my breakfast usually consists of.
Try something like, my breakfast usually consists of strong coffee and whatever fruit I grabbed at the store. Or, my breakfast usually consists of a protein smoothie that I prepped the night before. Efficiency is key.
Right, moving to work. My workday typically begins with.
You could share. My workday typically begins with reviewing my calendar and diving into the most challenging tasks first. Or, my workday typically begins with a team meeting where we align our priorities and share updates.
Perfect. For your lunch routine, around midday,
Around midday, I step away from my desk and prepare something simple but satisfying. Or, around midday, I either meet colleagues for lunch or take a solo walk to reset my energy.
Yeah, that's good. Your after-work ritual. My go-to way to decompress is...
You might say, my go-to way to decompress is cooking dinner while my favorite playlist fills the kitchen. Or, my go-to way to decompress is taking a long hot shower and immediately changing into my most comfortable clothes.
Oh, I can relate to that. Finally, bedtime. I usually wind down by...
I usually wind down by reading for about 30 minutes before my eyes get heavy. Or, I usually wind down by doing gentle stretches and keeping screens away for that final hour.
Great. Now here's the secret to making this sound natural. Use transition words to connect your sentences. Words like then, after that, usually, depending on my mood, and once I finish, will make your story flow beautifully.
And here's a pro tip that'll make you sound like a native speaker. Include one honest detail about a habit you're not proud of, or something you do inconsistently. This authenticity is what separates natural speakers from textbook learners.
Oh, absolutely. For example, I know I should avoid my phone first thing in the morning, but I usually end up scrolling through messages anyway. Some habits are just too hard to break. Or I aim to be in bed by 10:30, though I often get distracted by just one more episode and end up staying awake way too late.
Exactly. Those little confessions make you sound human. Remember, the goal is to create a story that flows naturally from morning to night. Your listeners should feel like they're getting a genuine glimpse into your daily life, complete with the imperfections that make us all human.
Right. Because let's face it, none of us are perfect, and that's what makes us interesting.
Fantastic work today, everyone! Before we wrap up, let's capture the most important takeaway from this episode. Mark, what's the one thing you want our listeners to remember?
Here it is. Natural English isn't about perfect grammar or fancy vocabulary. It's about storytelling. When you describe your routine, you're not filing a report. You're sharing a piece of your life. Add those messy details, honest emotions, and personal quirks that make you, well, you.
Exactly. And here's what I love most about this approach. You don't need to be perfect to sound natural. In fact, admitting your imperfections is what makes you sound like a real person instead of a textbook.
Right. So here's your mission this week. Write your complete routine story using everything we've covered today. Aim for 150 to 200 words. Pack it with specific details. Use those natural time expressions we practiced. And most importantly, let your personality shine through.
Yeah, we genuinely love reading your routine stories. So drop them in the comments below. And while you're there, grab our free PDF worksheet. It has all of today's phrases plus bonus exercises to keep you practicing.
Oh, and if this episode gave you that wow moment about describing routines naturally, help us spread the word. Subscribe and share this with anyone who's ready to level up their English conversation skills.
Absolutely. One final reminder that we live by here at Simply English. Progress beats perfection every single time. Every natural phrase you add, every authentic detail you include. That's your English getting stronger.
Exactly. Keep weaving those natural expressions into your daily English. Keep adding your unique personality to every conversation. And most importantly, keep it simply English.
Thanks for spending this time with us today. We'll see you in the next episode.
Yeah, until then, happy practicing.